Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Today. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to today's Purushottama month program. We are in day 16, August 2nd, and we will sing Chaurashtakam, read the translation, read chapter 15, and read the translation of chapter 15. So there's no sign up for singing the Chaurashtakam, so I'll be singing. I'm sharing the screen for the lyrics, so please sing along while you're on mute. व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीतचौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चदुकुलचौरम् अनेकजन्मार्जितपापचौरं शौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि श्रीराधिकाय हृदयस्य चौरम् नवाम्बुदश्यामलाकान्तिचौरं पदाश्रितानां च समस्तचौरं चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि अकिञ्चनीकृत्य पदाश्रितं य करोति भिक्षुं पतिगेहहीनं केनाप्यहो भीषणा चौरयित्रिक् दृष्टा श्रुतो वा न जगत्त्रयेऽपि यदीयनामापि हरत्यशेषं गिरिप्रसारानपि पापराशिन् आश्चर्यरूपो ननु चौरयित्रिक् दृष्टा श्रुतो वा न मया कदापि धनं च मानं च ततेन्द्रियाणि प्राणंश्च हृत्वा मम सर्वमेव पलायसे कुत्र धृतोऽद्यचौर त्वं भक्तिदाम्नासि मया निरुद्ध चिन्नत्सि घोरं यमापाशबन्धं भिन्नत्सि भीमं भवापाशबन्धं चिन्नत्सि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धं नैवात्मनो भक्तकृतं तु बन्धं मन्मानसे तामसाराशिघोरे काराग्रहे दुःखमये निबद्धा लभस्व हि चौर हरे चिराय स्वचौर्यदोषोचितम् एव दण्डम् कराग्रहे वस सदा हृदये मदीये मद्भक्तिपाशा दृढबन्धननिश्चलसन् त्वां कृष्ण हे प्रलयकोटिशतान्तरेऽपि सर्वस्वचौरा हृदया नहि मोचयामि व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीतचौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चदुकुलचौरम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, everyone. Bhavani, may I request you to read the translation?
Sure, Mataji. I offer my respectful obeisances to that foremost of thieves, who is famous in Vraja as the butter thief and who steals the gopis' clothes, and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have accrued over my lifetimes. I offer my respectful obeisances to the foremost of thieves who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark luster of a fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter of his feet. He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers and wandering, homeless beggar. Alas, such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard of in all the three worlds. Mere utterance of his name purges one of the mountain of sins, such as astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. You cut the terrible noose of Yamaraja. You sever the dreadful noose of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage. But you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees. O stealer of everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance. And there for a very long time you will remain, receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. O Krishna, thief of my everything, the noose of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of, could you please scroll?
Eons.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not able to see that. Okay, thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Very beautiful reading. Nice expression. Thanks, Bhavani. Moving on to, I think it is Chris, right? Chris, beta, go ahead and read the chapter. I will have it open for you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I wasn't writing chapter 15, not 13.
This is 13.
This is 13? Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's my bad. How do I do it now? Where am I? Okay, this is not the one. Okay. That's true. I don't know why I went to 13. Where is 15? 15. Yes. For default view advanced and then was text. Yes, it's all ready for you, Chris, beta.
Okay, today I'll be reciting chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Urdhamulam Madhasakam Asvattam Praharavjayam Shantam Siyasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit Adashodam Prastitatasya Saka Guna Pravridda Visaya Prabalaha Adashtamulani Anusantatani Karmanubantene Manushaloke Narupam Ashreha Tato Balapyate Nantona Chadarna Sampratista Asvattam Enam Suvirudamulam Asangashastena Dena Jitva Tatapadam Tat Parimargit Avyam Yasmin Gatanani Vartanti Bhuyaha Tameva Chadyam Purusam Prapadye Yata Pravritit Prastata Purani Nirmana Moha Jita Sangatosa Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kamaha Vinver Vimuktaha Sagadaka Samner Gachanti Amudaha Patam Avyayam Tat Natad Bhasyate Suryo निशशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम ममेवांसो जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातनः मनसास्त्रनिन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यद्वाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः कृतित्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धनिवासयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं गानमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते उक्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि पुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमुदाननुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति जानचक्षुषा यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्ति आत्मानि अवस्थितं यतन्तोऽपि यज्ञात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्ति चेतसः यदादित्यगतं तेजो यत् जगद्भास्यते किलं यच्च ध्वंसि यच्चाग्नो तत्तेजो विद्धिमामकं कामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि च सिद्धिः सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनं देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचामि अन्नं च गर्भयाम् सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मृत्तास्मृतिर्जन्मपोहनं च वेदैः सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहं त्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके चरश्चाक्षर एव च सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमा पुरुषस्तन्नः परमात्मेहि उदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमहाविश्य विभर्ति अव्यय ईश्वरः यस्मात् सर्वम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तमः अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः यो मामेवमसम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजते मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदं मुक्तं मया नघ एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. Very nice. We'll now move on to who's doing the translation. Aparna. Okay, Aparna, you already read. So let's see who is there in this group who never read at all. Bhavani, you want to read? Go ahead, Bhavani.
Can you share, please?
Yes, I'm sharing.
The yoga of the Supreme Person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who unbewildered know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. that supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch. These are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me. I enter into each planet, and my energy, they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as a supreme person. Whoever knows me as a supreme personality of Godhead, without doubting, is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhavani. Let's discuss a little bit on this verse, where nice message, which probably we all can relate to and understand. There are some terms here which we can elaborate. So Krishna is telling in this verse that those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association. So three terms Krishna is giving here. False prestige. What is the meaning of false prestige? What is prestige? What is false prestige? False prestige. Prestige is true prestige, right? Like if somebody asks us our identity, who are we? We normally right now say that I am so-and-so, my name is so-and-so, I'm the daughter of so-and-so, I have this degree from education, I work for so-and-so, or my children are so-and-so, or my husband is so-and-so, or my wife is so-and-so. Those are all designations that come to our body. And if we become and we associate with those titles that are because of this bodily existence, That is false prestige, because that prestige is not something which is related to the soul. Our soul has no designations, and the only designation that soul is that is a child of God, Krishna, the servant of Lord Krishna, always in the mood of loving service to Lord. That is the designation that the soul has. But if we don't identify with that designation, but if we identify with other designations, which I listed, what few of them which I listed, and many more, right? Each one of us has, if somebody comes and tells and asks us, who are you? Then obviously we will tell that my name is so and so. I'll not tell I'm the soul, I'm servant of Krishna. I will not tell. But if we are so much hooked up to those designations which are related to this body, then that becomes false prestige. And until and unless we are free from that false prestige, where we don't really identify with our bodily designations and go beyond, we need to identify with our bodily designations to the extent that we function in this material world. But in reality, we are the soul, so we should also identify ourselves with that spiritual designation, which is the servant of the Supreme. So we have to free us from ourselves from this false prestige. And the next one is illusion. Illusion is saying whatever is in the material world, we think it is true. If we see in this chapter, Krishna says this material world is actually a reflection of the spiritual world. And the spiritual world is like the tree, the original tree that is standing with its roots down and the branches and the trunk going upwards. But if that same tree is on the bank of a river or the bank of a pond, what will happen? We will see the reflection, right? How does the reflection look? It looks downward, right? The roots are coming up, the trunk is going down, the branches are also going down, the leaves are also reversed upside down. But if somebody looks at that reversal tree, that image of the tree in the water, and think that that is the true tree, then that person is an illusion. Yes or no? We all can tell that, right? So based on our small intelligence, we can definitely say that if a person thinks the reflection of a tree in the water is real tree, then that person is a fool. He's an illusion. Similarly, we are also in illusion thinking that this material world that we are living in is permanent. We are thinking here is where we find permanent happiness. And that's the reason we're thinking about how to acquire land or how to acquire more money or how to acquire more enjoyment facilities and all that, thinking that this is the permanent place to live. And therefore, we are in illusion. And Krishna is saying that we have to free ourselves from illusion too. So how is this applicable to us? Do we have to give up our houses? Do we have to give up our jobs? Do we have to give up our desires? Do we have to give up and think that this is all fake and I will not believe anything? Should we show that type of attitude? No. Or what we have to do is, while living in this world, while enjoying the facilities that are provided to us by way of our hard work and by Krishna's blessings, we still don't forget Krishna. We try to do practices, use these material facilities to learn more about Krishna, to think more about Krishna, to start loving Krishna, right? So these material facilities should help us get closer to Krishna, not make us forget Krishna. If they make us forget Krishna, then they will become illusory. If they do not make us forget Krishna, but help us remember Krishna, then they will become factual. There's no more illusion. And that is called freeing ourselves from illusion. So first is false prestige, second one is illusion. And next one, Krishna is saying false association. What does association mean? Association means with whom, whether it is person or thing, are we spending our more time? And if that association, be it a thing or a person or an object, if it is not reminding us or getting us closer to Krishna, then it becomes false association. But if it reminds us and if it helps us closer to Krishna, then that is true association. So we have to be very careful. What are we doing from the time we wake up in the morning till we sleep? What type of things are we associating? What type of activities are we performing? What type of people are we talking to? That person, when we talk, is that person reminding us of Krishna, or that person is reminding us about this illusory world, about the various things that happen in this illusory temporary world, which are really of no value? Is it simply gossip? Or is it something that helps me develop values? Or is it something that helps me remember Krishna? If it is doing that, then it is true association. If it is not doing that, then it is false association. So Krishna is clearly telling in this verse, we have to give up false prestige, we have to give up illusion, and we have to give up false association. And again, when it means give up, it doesn't mean that we have to lose. In giving up false prestige, in giving up illusion, in giving up false association, we will become the greatest winners. because these three are the ones that are blockers that prevent us from becoming successful. If we give up these things, Krishna is saying what will happen? These are the people who are actually able to attain the eternal kingdom. Of course, there are more things that Krishna added in the rest of these sentences, but we'll talk about those things tomorrow. But for today, let's just think about what type of recognition do I have for myself? How do I recognize myself? How do I identify myself? Based on that, you can tell whether you have false prestige or true prestige. Am I an illusion? What am I thinking about all the time? Thinking about what to eat, where to go, what to play, how do I enjoy? Am I thinking about that all the time? Or am I thinking, how do I get closer to Krishna? Or did I practice my Bhagavad Gita verses today? Or did I work hard and do my work diligently today rather than just thinking about escaping my work? Am I doing it nicely? Because those are values which will help us become Krishna conscious. Though it's directly not related to illusion, even a value-based life will help us overcome illusion. And then about the association. What type of association am I having? Am I constantly playing video games? Am I constantly watching YouTube? Am I constantly talking to people who are not helping me learn Krishna? Am I constantly engaging in activities that are making me forgetful of Krishna? Go and sit and watch movie, go and sit and watch TV for hours and hours. What will happen? Our mind is filled with all junk which does not help us remember Krishna. On the contrary, you're spending 30 minutes every day during Purushottama month, coming and reading about Krishna, or singing the devotional song by Bhakti, by Bilumangal Thakur, and reading the translation. What are we doing this 30 minutes? This is association, true association. True association is directly reminding us of Krishna. So just think about these three things and see how we can make small changes. Krishna doesn't say you have to make drastic change and from tomorrow stop everything and don't. He says make small changes, right? Small conscious changes. And when we make that, Krishna sees, hey, today Chris read chapter 15 so well. How did he do that? Because he practiced chapter 15 verses throughout the year. And that's how he's able to do it. So Chris is doing nicely with his time. So I'm going to bless him. I'm going to give him more intelligence to understand me and give him more opportunities to participate. Similarly, all the other participants here. So Krishna is going to see when we do that, and he's going to give us better opportunities and better intelligence. Because in chapter 15, the same chapter 15th verse, what does Krishna say? He says, from me comes knowledge, forgetfulness, see, remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Who is giving these three things to us? If you want to remember the Bhagavad Gita verses, if you want to remember a math equations or the tables, multiplication tables or a math formula, if you want to remember some science facts for a science Olympiad, whatever, from where are we getting that? Krishna is giving us that remembrance, because Krishna is saying here, I will give you remembrance and I will give you knowledge too. So when we spend more time or when we think about Krishna more, we will get good memory for good things, and we will have more knowledge and become more intelligent, and we'll forget. What will we forget? Unnecessary things which we don't have to remember. Sometimes we keep on thinking about things which are not helping us in any way. But we have to get rid of those thoughts. And who will help us? Krishna only will help us. So either for remembering good things or forgetting bad things and becoming intelligent, for all these things, Krishna is our Supreme Father, and he will give us all that knowledge based on how much we want to get closer to him. Our desire to get closer to him decides all these things. So on that note, I want to stop here. If any of you want to share anything, you can share. We have 1 more minute. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining. We'll sign off for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.